Welcome back to our English vocabulary series. Today, we explore 20 interesting and useful words that start with the letter V. We'll learn their meanings, translations, and real-life examples, so you can start using them naturally in your conversations.
Void, adjective. Empty, without effect, not valid. Not having legal force or being completely empty. The contract is void if it's not signed by both parties. Void, noun. Emptiness, nothingness. A large empty space or a strong feeling of emptiness inside. After her friend moved away, she felt a deep void in her life. Void, verb. To cancel, to make invalid. To make something no longer valid or legally binding. They had to void the check because it was filled out incorrectly. Once you sign the lease, it becomes legally binding.
Speaking of checks, let's look at another very common expression you'll often hear in banking and everyday English. Bounce a check. In banking English, bounce a check means that a bank refuses to accept or pay a check because there is not enough money in the account. Example: his check bounced because he didn't have enough money in the bank.
The phrase null and void means completely invalid or without any legal effect. It is often used in legal or formal contexts. Without both parties' signatures, the contract is null and void. It's a fixed expression. You almost always see null and void together. The agreement is null and void due to fraud. Volatile, likely to change suddenly or become dangerous. The stock market is very volatile these days. The situation is politically volatile. Gasoline is a volatile substance. Here's a quick way to express that the weather is very changeable in English. Unstable weather, not steady, can change suddenly. Changeable weather changes often. The weather is very unpredictable. You can't guess what will happen next. The weather keeps changing. It changes all the time. Volcano, a mountain that can release lava, gas, and ash from inside the earth. The volcano erupted last year. They live near an active volcano. Volley, a strike or hit in sports, like tennis or volleyball, before the ball touches the ground. He won the point with a great volley. Volley, a fast group of shots, bullets, or questions. The reporter hit the politician with a volley of questions. The soldiers fired a volley of bullets at the approaching enemy. Volleyball, a sport where two teams hit a ball over a net with their hands. She's on the school volleyball team. Volt, a unit that measures electric power or force. This battery has 9 volts. Volume, the amount of space something takes, how loud a sound is. Turn down the volume, please. The volume of water in the tank is too low.
Voluntary. Done by choice, not forced or paid. Although voluntary and volunteer are related, they are used differently. Volunteer is usually a noun or a verb. As a noun, it means a person who offers to help without being paid. She works as a volunteer at a hospital. As a verb, it means to offer to do something willingly. He volunteered to help. Voluntary, on the other hand, is an adjective that describes something done freely or by choice, not because it is required. For example, attendance is voluntary. In simple terms, a volunteer is the person, while voluntary describes the action or activity.
She does voluntary work at the hospital. She is a volunteer at the hospital. Participation in the workshop is voluntary. Participation in the community cleanup is voluntary. Participation in the survey is voluntary. A survey is a set of questions designed to collect detailed information or opinions from people. A poll is a type of survey that measures public opinion, often about politics or preferences, usually with short questions. All polls are surveys, but not all surveys are polls. A quiz is a short test or game with questions to check knowledge, often used in schools or for fun. They conducted a survey about customer satisfaction. The latest poll shows the president's approval rating has dropped. The teacher gave the students a pop quiz. Vomit, to throw up the contents of your stomach. In English, there are several ways to say vomit, and each has a different level of formality. Vomit, neutral or formal, often used in medical or standard contexts. Throw up, informal, commonly used in everyday conversation. Be sick, mainly British English, meaning to vomit. Puke, vulgar or colloquial, stronger and more emotional. Barf, very informal, often humorous or used with children. Each word can be used depending on the situation, audience, or tone you want to convey. He vomited after eating too much. I think I'm going to throw up. She threw it up on the carpet. She was sick 3 times last night. He puked all over the car. He just barfed! Vouch, to say something is true or someone is reliable. I can vouch for her honesty.
I can vouch for him. He's very reliable. The manager personally vouched for the new employee. I can't vouch for the quality of that product.
Can you vouch that he was there? A voucher is a document or code that can be exchanged for goods or services, often for a specific value or as a gift. I got a $50 hotel voucher for my birthday. I used a voucher to get a free meal. A coupon is a discount ticket or code that reduces the price of a product or service. I used a coupon to get 20% off my groceries. Voyage, a long journey, usually by sea or in space. They went on a long voyage across the Atlantic. Their voyage across the ocean took 2 months. The astronauts embarked on a long voyage to Mars. Now that we've learned about voyage, let's explore other words we use in English to talk about different types of journeys or trips. We went on a weekend trip to Paris. Her journey through the mountains was challenging. I love to travel in the summer with my friends, especially to places in Asia. The scientists went on an expedition to the Arctic. Vulgar, rude, not polite or socially appropriate. That joke was vulgar and offensive. Vulnerable, easy to hurt or attack physically or emotionally. Elderly people are particularly vulnerable to online scams. In these positions, our troops are vulnerable to attack. Unvaccinated people are more vulnerable to contracting the disease. After the breakup, she felt vulnerable and sad. Vulture, a large bird that eats dead animals. The vulture waited for the lion to leave the carcass. Scavengers are animals that feed on dead animals. Common scavengers include vultures, hyenas, jackals, crows, magpies, and some insects like beetles. They play an important role in nature by cleaning up carcasses and preventing the spread of disease. In English, vulture can also be used figuratively to describe a person or company that takes advantage of others in a vulnerable situation, like someone profiting from others' misfortune. For example, some investors acted like vultures, buying properties from struggling families at very low prices. A vulture investor bought the failing company's assets. The tabloids are like vultures, always circling celebrities' personal lives. Tabloids are newspapers or magazines that focus on sensational stories, gossip, and entertainment rather than serious news. They often use eye-catching headlines and photos to attract readers.
That's all for today's vocabulary with the letter V. Remember to practice these words in your own sentences, and you'll sound more fluent every day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me in the next video for more English learning fun.